Hey, what's up, everybody? Scott Spreitzer here, DocSports.com. It's Football Thursday at Doc Sports. Today is the day of the week we release all of our plays over at DocSports.com for the upcoming weekend, college and pro football. And I've got my next 8-unit college football play going this weekend. We've won 10 in a row, 10 straight 8-unit plays. We won a few weeks ago in college football when Iowa State blew out Arizona. We're going to look to make it 11 straight 8-unit wins this weekend. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that, but you can find all my plays on my homepage over at DocSports.com. It is top 5 countdown time in college football for Saturday, October 25th, 2025. Let's jump right into it. Second straight week, we're going to back the Gophers in the countdown. Number 5, Minnesota, getting 9 on the road in Iowa City from the Iowa Hawkeyes. This game at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. Iowa was a letdown. I had them in the countdown last week. We did cash with Minnesota over Nebraska, but Iowa did beat Penn State. But, man, questionable coaching decisions cost Iowa backers the spread. I mean, simple things like trying a 66-yard field goal in the closing seconds of the first half. Low trajectory kick returned for a touchdown after being blocked by Penn State. They went for a couple of 2-pointers. They missed both. Meanwhile, the Gophers embarrassed the Huskers in the trenches. This team's getting tougher as the season progresses up front, both offense and defense. We saw it last week, and I like Minnesota to hang this number against the Iowa Hawkeyes, the number 5 play. Number 4 play, sticking to Big Ten action. We're heading to East Lansing. We're going to back Michigan State plus 14.5 over the Michigan Wolverines. And this game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern in East Lansing. And I'm not ready to lay this many points on the road with a freshman quarterback who hasn't played all that great away from home. Talking about Bryce Underwood. He might be a good one, might be a great one eventually, but on the road thus far, he's 36 of 70 through the air, barely above 50%. 2 touchdown passes in those 3 games, only 56 yards on 16 carries. And they're basically fortunate to be 1-2 on the road. If not for a Dylan Raiola, Nebraska interception inside the Huskers' own 25-yard line, which turned into an eventual touchdown for Michigan, they very well could have lost that football game. As far as Mich State, quarterback Aiden Childs, he had a nice game against Indiana, and I think he can keep his team in this one. And by nice game, I mean relatively speaking, facing the Hoosiers. Now they're home. They're 12-4-1 against the spread in the last 17 meetings. I like the points here with Michigan State, my number 4 play. Number 3, we're going to head to Lincoln. If they're going to put up a number that's going to be more than a touchdown, Huskers favored, I'm going to look to take those points with the opponent or stay away from the game. And in this case, we're taking the points. The game at 12 noon Eastern time in Lincoln, by the way. It's just something I cannot do, lay points with this team. They've obviously got some issues up front of the offensive line, and I mean major issues. What they get sacked 9 times last week by Minnesota. Every time Raiola drops back to pass, it seems like he's under massive pressure, and he started to throw picks over the last few weeks. As far as Northwestern, they're 5-2. Their only losses on the season to the Oregon Ducks, and then in the season opener to a Tulane team that's now 6-1 on the season. I think the Wildcats can make life tough on the Huskers. I like Northwestern plus the points, the number 3 play. Number 2, SEC action, Ole Miss at Oklahoma, and I do like the Sooners here to lay in a 5 spot. This game also at 12 noon Eastern time in Norman. The defense is a beast. It's what we all expected when they hired Brent Venables to be the head coach. Very defensive-minded coach. That's his forte, defense, obviously. Even in the loss to Texas, OU held the Longhorns to 302 yards at about 4.8 yards per play. The defense also held the Longhorns to 3 field goals and a touchdown. Texas scored one of their touchdowns on a punt return. As far as Ole Miss, they had that 6-0 start, snapped last week in the loss to Georgia. A heartbreaking loss at that. They looked like they had the game wrapped up. Couldn't do it. Also lost against the spread of that one, by the way. And I think it's going to make for a tough spot this week on the road in Norman against the Venables coached defense. Oklahoma minus the 5 spot is the number 2 play. Number 1 play, the marquee matchup in just a moment. I mentioned at the top that I do have my next 8-unit play going college football this weekend. You can get it Thursday afternoon with all my football plays, both college and pro. And we look to make it 11 straight wins with 8-unit plays. Overall, college football and NFL hitting 64% since September 13th of this season. Going back to mid-September last year, 93-62 and up $9,800. Hope you want to jump on board. And if you do, you can go to my homepage at DocSports.com as we look to make it 11 straight 8-unit wins. On to the marquee matchup. It's another SEC game. It is Texas A&M at LSU. Little night action in Baton Rouge, and the LSU Tigers getting 2.5 in this one. And I get it. Brian Kelly, boy, he gives folks plenty of ammo to dislike him. And they've lost 2 of 3. But both of those games were winnable, losing by 5 at Ole Miss and by 7 against Vandy. They couldn't stop Pavia on the ground. There's no second thought about that. Pavia was able to pick him up and put him down when he wanted to. And it was good for us because we had Vandy in that game last week. But I don't like the way the Aggies have been escaping in some of their games. They were in a 1-score game with Florida with about 5 minutes to go in the game. They were tied with Auburn in the fourth quarter. They got outgained by Arkansas and, in fact, got crushed on the ground by the Hogs. Arkansas gained 268 yards on 8.4 yards per carry on the ground against A&M. And 2 opponents, including Arkansas, reached the 40-point mark against A&M. So you can run on them a bit. They've also given up 11 touchdown passes with only 2 interceptions. Very low interception percentage, less than 1%. I'm going to back LSU here to bounce back into the win column. LSU plus the points over Texas A&M, the marquee matchup this week. Repeating your top 5 countdown, number 5, Minnesota plus the points over Iowa. Number 4, Michigan State at home plus the points over Michigan. Number 3 play, Northwestern plus the points on the road in Lincoln. Northwestern plus the points over Nebraska. The number 2 play is the Oklahoma Sooners laying a 5 spot to Ole Miss, that game in Norman. And the number 1 play is LSU plus the points over Texas A&M. Hope you like these top 5 countdowns. If you do, be sure to click on that thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos. I do have some thoughts on the World Series. It starts on Friday, and if you're watching this before the series gets going, then by all means, check it out if you want to see what I'm looking at for the upcoming World Series. All right, everybody, you can find all my plays on my homepage at DocSports.com. I'm Scott Spreitzer, Doc Sports. Let's put them in the win column, everybody.